Hello, my name is Ryan Bradford. I'm presenting my one of my lesson plans that I have for class for instructional and curricular studies of higher education. So, the course I picked was Intro to Black Literature, and the topic I am going to discuss is topic 3 that I put in my lesson plan, which is Jim Crow, the New Migration, and the New Negro. Let me start here. Okay, so first, the objectives, we'll discuss how the Jim Crow affects on black people and why migration was important for black people to go to the northern parts of the USA. We're going to discuss the New Negro movement and the Harlem Renaissance era and how black intellects, activists, and artists, writers used their talents to show how black people felt in America in those times. So we're going to start at the Reconstruction era. After Emancipation Proclamation, the Civil War, many black people were free. They were able to pretty much go as they please, get land, own businesses, and they tried to make their own way of life. Even to the point where the Republican Party offered black people to be a part of the political process, where a lot of black people became senators or a part of local politics. And many one-room schools and colleges were formed around the Reconstruction era. Okay. In 1965, the Black Codes Law was put into place in local and state governments where they kind of control where black people came and go far as transportation, far as jobs, trying to restrict them. And then by 1877, a more restrictive law, which was called the Jim Crow Law, was formed, which was named after a minstrel show actor, Jim Crow, and the show was called The Jump Jim Crow, which means the Jim Crow law meant that segregation was formed, meaning separate but equal. You had white everything and you had black everything. And then once it became Jim Crow was in certain parts of the South, and then it became all over the South where everything was considered to be separate but equal. So, and a film that came out in 1915 called The Birth of a Nation came out about the Ku Klux Klan, because the Ku Klux Klan was formed in the late 1800s, like 1890s per se. And this film by D.W. Griffith came out in 1915, and it was viewed all over the country. Was like a #1 movie at the time, which depicted black people as lazy, evil, were murderous, and rapists of white women. And a lot of people believe that black people were those type of people. And because they believe that, many black men were lynched all through the South and some parts of northern parts of America. When I say countries, I don't know why. But despite the fighting, despite the lynching, a lot of black people went off to war to fight in World War I, to fight for the country across Europe and to help. But still, when they got back home, a lot of black men were lynched, beaten, murdered in their uniforms. Because of this, a lot of black people took their chances to move up north for a better way of life, which is called the Great Migration. questions. Questions for the class I have. Why were politicians afraid of black people voting and being part of this political process? And another question, why was it a fear for black people to be a part of society in those days and time? You could.